Now, many years ago, I had a dream. I dreamed about Carl Turnage. Carl Turnage and I had grown up in a small Mississippi town. Now, Carl lived up on Silk Stocking Street. That's where all the old, pretty Victorian houses were. And I lived down the street on Monroe Street. When we were in junior high, we were in the same ballroom dancing class. Every time I would go to class, Miss Mitchell, our teacher, would say, "Jane, tonight your dance partner will be Carl Turnage." Oh, didn't she know that I wanted to dance with J.K. Skeeter Baker III or Cyrus York Craig? But no, I had to dance with Carl Turnage every time I went. Now, Carl was a nice fella. He was in the 8th grade and I was just in the 6th. He was a pretty good dancer. He sometimes made me laugh. But he was 3 or 4 inches shorter than I was. And when we would have a slow dance, oh, he held me much too close to him. And then he started asking, "Jane, why don't you ask your mama to bring you to the picture show on Friday night and we can sit together?" And I said no, because I knew what Carl Turnage wanted to do. He wanted to hold my hand, and I was going to have none of that. Now, when he was a freshman in high school, he went off to military school. And he wrote to me, and he wrote to me, and he wrote to me. And I never, ever answered him. And that's what I dreamed about. I dreamed about how unkind and mean I had been to Carl Turnage as a young girl. Now, when I woke up that next morning, I still had that dream in my mind. And I said, "Dear God, please forgive me for being so unkind and mean to Carl Turnage." And do you know that 2 weeks later, Carl Turnage called me on the telephone. And he said he was passing through Rome, Georgia, and would be spending the night, and would I go out to supper with him? Well, I had asked God to help me be a better person, so I had to say yes. Well, when we went out, he had aged well. He was 3 to 4 inches shorter than I was. He still could make me laugh, and he still loved to dance. But what he loved to do more than anything else in the world was go to an Ole Miss football game. And I told him, I said, "Okay, now, Carl, I'll go with you to those football games. But I will never, ever say that tacky cheer, Hotty Toddy. I'm a Mississippi State fan." It didn't seem to bother him at all. And Ole Miss, well, they had had a great season. And they were invited to the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas. And Carl said, "Jane, we're going." And we did. We were sitting in the stands on the afternoon of the game. It was halftime, 21-0. And it was Ole Miss that was losing. But something happened. When they came out after halftime, those boys caught up. It was 21-21. And there were only 5 more minutes in the game. Now, the Ole Miss team was lined up to kick a field goal. I mean, those little cheerleaders were just hovering, watching. The stand was quiet, and the clock was ticking. And that boy kicked that football, and it went up and over, and Ole Miss had won. And the little cheerleaders came to life, and they began, "Are you ready?" And the fans answered, "Hell yes." Hotty Toddy, gosh almighty, who in the heck are we? Flim, flam, bim, bam, Ole Miss, by damn. And do you know I got caught up in all the excitement? And I said that cheer, and Carl Turnage hugged me as if I'd said I loved him. And maybe I had. Thank you.